Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines here. Term limits. We're going to talk about it. Something I've loved for a long time. Stuart Alderati, we got Ripple response due in the SEC versus Ripple case today. We got French Central Bank, Germany Central Bank, Australia, ISDA, SWIFT, and this is big. Tokenized assets. SWIFT says they can do it. They're already facilitating it. Why do you not see Ripple and XRP? I believe I've got the answer. We got that XRP price set. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, it's $1.09 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency. The market is off by 3.6%. Happy Friday. That's crypto. Bitcoin just over 26,000, 1649 for Ethereum and change. Tether market cap 82.8 billion plus. XRP at the number 5 spot at 50 cents right now. Off by just as much as the market is right now in the last 24 and 1.2 on the 7-day. Let's take a look at this. Elon Musk says they're going to be bringing video, audio calls coming to X, working on iOS, Android, Mac, and PC. No phone number needed. X is the effective global address market or address book. And I get it, and that's great. But over the last couple weeks, I have had an enormous time trying to upload little videos to X, and it gets stuck at like 99%. And we're talking about a 1 and 27-second video I'm going to show you today that has still not loaded in an hour. So whatever the hell you're going to do, Elon, let's go ahead and get that done, right? And while we're at it, let's ask him this. Will you be using the XRP ledger for cross-border transactions on the back end of X, transactions in seconds and for fractions of a penny? I don't know the answer, but I'd love to hear his response. Then there's this. Gold Telegraph says, so far this year, the Monetary Authority of Singapore has acquired 73.6 tons of gold, with additional purchases made in July. Last month, Qatar boosted its official gold reserves by 3 tons. In June, Libya purchased 30 tons of gold, bringing its reserves to record levels. Listen. One of the core tenets that I have of this channel and my investing principles is this. I'm doing what they're doing, stacking my pennies next to their dollars, or should I say, stacking my gold next to theirs. And this is exactly what I'm doing, and I'm doing it with Miles Franklin, and that's Andy Scheckman. And I tell you something, I have just seen an email where my Buffalo 1-ounce coin, gold coin, is being shipped to me, and I can't wait to get it to show you a picture of it. Because listen, when I'm looking at this new financial system and where we're moving to, I see gold as a very, very core part of this happening. It is going to back and underpin and ensure a lot of these CBDCs, if not the majority of them. And I believe that this really falls into my principles and my core tenets of investing, of stacking my pennies next to their dollars. I want to do what the biggest elite bankers, investment firms are doing, and this is my way of doing it too. And you can do it by using the code right here, Dig Gold. Tell them I sent you, Brad Kimes, Digital Perspectives, but you got to use the email or call. Let me tell you something. I want to take a second and tell you this because I know it's new. But there are different tax implications state to state, no matter where you are, or even somewhere around the world. That's why you want to call. You will talk specifically to a broker who knows exactly how to handle your situation and get you the best deal. Use that code, Dig Gold. Click that link or call directly. You will love it. Take a look at this. Perry Ann Boring has just come out with something I think every human being in the world can get behind, and certainly in the crypto space. She says, here's a thread for crucial fusion of term limits and advanced technologies. Term limits for elected officials deserve attention. Let's journey back in time to grasp its roots and explore why it's key for a healthy democratic system, especially in the age of advanced tech. This thread is great. I don't have time to go all the way down into it today, but I want to tell Perry Ann Boring and the Chamber of Digital Commerce, I am absolutely with you on this. Term limits has been something I have been forever shouting to the moon since my early 20s. I don't want to say how long ago that's been, but the reality here is where do I side? Because I have been wanting to eliminate the phrase career politician for decades, and anything I can do to help bring attention to that movement, I am with you, Perry Ann. Let us know. Right here, Stuart Alderati, and I think I covered this late yesterday, but I just love it. Lawyers should never be told, don't poke the bear, since it seems that the only way to stop these unelected bureaucrats from pushing their failed political agendas is to poke the bear. You're damn right. And shout out to Stuart Alderati and Ripple for poking the bear and getting what they need. You can't let intimidation keep you down. You just can't do it, right? And thank God that they've had the money to be able to fight that bear. No doubt about that. Ashley Prosper reminds all of us here, Ripple's response to the SEC's motion for permission to file an interlocutory appeal is due today, September 1st. We can't wait to see it is right, and hopefully that will come out later today. We will bring that to you as soon as we get it. Let's shift gears a little bit right here, where this French central bank report reveals XRP is a preferred candidate for CBDCs. This is what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. And look, whether this is old or new, this is what we like to see. And I know that there have been reports in years past with the Bank of France. We will see. But it says here, has evidently set its eyes on Ripple and XRP by bypassing more mainstream choices, Bitcoin and Ethereum. This intriguing pivot outlined in a recent CPA Australia report illustrates how Ripple and its native currency XRP have started to garner attention from apex financial institutions across the globe. Now, what I wanted to bring you here is that this is the comment that's inside of this, and with regards to XRP, this is what it has to say. Ripple and XRP enjoy the trust of many banks as a model for CBDCs because it is highly centralized and it is based on permission network where only certain network nodes can validate transactions as opposed to decentralized and permissionless Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ripple also allows the creation of new currencies, and Ripple developers can decide the timing and quantity of supply in a similar way to current central bank operations. You know, when I read that last part, right, Ripple developers can decide the timing and quantity of supply in a similar way to current central bank operations. I'm always reminded of what Miguel Villas said back in the day when he was the head of XRP Global Markets, when he said that, you know, I don't think we'll release all of it into the wild. We're like a lender of last resort, right? These things he would say, and it really rings true here because I've always said that the escrow of XRP and that Ripple was the steward of the release of the XRP every month, and they're a very good steward, I believe, and what you see them doing month after month after month is exercising good, sound monetary policy. Because I believe XRP is money, no doubt about it. And then here we see even more evidence of this. And look, this is older. I'm not even going to kid you here. This is Bundesbank of Central Bank of Germany has highlighted the usefulness of XRP. And let me just show you the diagram so you can see right here. We know all of these drills. We've seen a million of these images, right? Ripple right here. We see it. But I'm just showing you that because we see this consistent theme. We know we're getting closer to CBDCs being a reality by 2025. In just 24 months, it's actually less than that, right? So let's say a year and a half we're looking at. So when you think of that, think of the idea that between now and then, there are a lot of moving parts that have to come to light. They have to come to light, right? So every healthy market has market participants, market makers, and speculators. I'm a speculator in these here digital hills, and Ripple XRP will play a major role in the new financial system. This may be from 2017, but it tells me how long banks have known about the solution they need. And get this. Reminder, We know ISDA had Ripple join, and R32, I believe it was as well at the same time, to help settle $1.2 quadrillion worth of derivatives. You know, I'd look at these numbers and it's unfathomable. Let's face it, right? It's hard to get your mind wrapped around a number of that size, right? That is an enormous amount of liquidity, ladies and gentlemen, and settlement. But when you understand that this is the goal, this is where we're going, everything is going to be tokenized in the traditional markets. Crypto itself is a very small portion of what we're looking at. The larger part of where we're going is traditional markets being tokenized and digitized. That's what we're talking about here. And that's why I get so excited when I see Ripple joining that, because I know at some point, to get the full benefit of this digitization and tokenized world we're moving to, you're going to need the bridge asset to help you get it done. And look at what SWIFT has done here. Breaking SWIFT successfully facilitate the transfer of tokenized assets across multiple public and private blockchains. Well, I tell you, this is great news until you get inside of it and you see, let me read this part to you. Our experiments in the details. To conduct these experiments, we collaborate with a number of major financial institutions and market infrastructures, including Australia, which we work with, New Zealand Bank, we've got connections. We know that there's BNB Paribas connected, BNY Mellon connected, Citi connected. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're literally naming like almost everything we know that has a connection to Ripple. But Lloyd's Banking Group, Six Digital Exchange, Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, we know they're tied there. Look, but it says we use Chainlink as an enterprise abstraction layer to securely connect the SWIFT network to Ethereum, Sepolia network, while Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol enabled complete interoperability between the source and destination blockchains. It doesn't say Ripple or XRP anywhere. And believe me when I tell you, and here's the clip that's still not loading, like after a gazillion hours. It's 1 minute and 27 seconds. When the naysayers shout from the rooftop that it doesn't say Ripple or XRP, well, I'm going to give you the reason why.
Your biggest rival, SWIFT, will be joining you. Could you shed some light?
Well, look, SWIFT is owned by the banks, and we are here to help the banks. We feel like blockchain technologies are a massive step function forward in terms of how correspondent banking has historically worked. The technologies that banks use today that SWIFT developed decades ago really hasn't evolved and kind of kept up with the market. And so we feel like we're here to help the banks. SWIFT is owned by the banks. There have been opportunities where maybe there's partnership opportunities. We haven't been able to bring those to fruition, but we're going to keep focusing on solving the customer problem. SWIFT said not that long ago they didn't see blockchain as a solution to correspondent banking. We've got well over 100 of their customers saying that they disagree.
So strictly internet rumors, yes? Just to
Strictly
clarify.
Rumors. There's lots of rumors, and I'm hesitant to comment on any rumor, because if you comment on the false rumors, then you have to comment on the true rumors, and so you just avoid all of them.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well, I think what we're doing and executing on a day-by-day basis is, in fact, taking over SWIFT. In that, we've now signed up, well over 100 banks. Some of the largest SWIFT-enabled banks in the world are now using Ripple's technology. Just last week, we saw a remittance company who's using Ripple's technology.
Brad, I'd like you to address some of the rumors circling around. There are indications that perhaps your biggest rival, SWIFT, will be joining you. Could you shed some light?
Well, look, SWIFT is owned by the banks, and we are here to help the banks. We feel like blockchain technologies are a massive step function forward in terms of how correspondent banking has historically.
There you go. Sorry about that. But look, this is him telling you right here, we're taking
Ripple
over.
could take over SWIFT one day.
Well, I think what we're doing and executing on a day-by-day basis is, in fact, taking over SWIFT.
There you go. If you want to know why you don't see Ripple and XRP directly in the writing of facilitating tokenized assets with SWIFT, there's your answer. It's competition, baby, right? And they look, SWIFT is owned by the banks, and it's just like David Schwartz said, how amazing is it that you could settle these things, these transactions in seconds for fractions of a penny? But the largest banks in the world that control these gateways, if they could push a button and stop technology, they would, because they don't want everybody else to have it, right? But they can't. That's the truth. They cannot stop the technology because we know that we've got legal clarity, right? They're not planning on stopping the technology. In fact, they're planning on using it. So this looks more like a war of the JPMs, the JP Morgans of the world, right, against Ripple. And that's what I'm seeing going on here. And they're not going to win. And then there's this. XRP price is already set. Listen to Lulu here.
That the price of an XRP has already been set. Now, obviously, it's not there yet, but let me tell you how it works. So let's take an entity like BlackRock. They have $40 trillion worth of assets in their books. If they were to tokenize those assets and put them all onto the XRP ledger, there's an argument to say that they would be able to actually calculate their exact impact on the price of XRP based on the value that they're adding to the blockchain.
That's it right there. And look, this is something I've been saying before I was a YouTuber in 2017. And the reality is, I don't think the price is already set. And I say it a different way, right? And look, I started my channel based around the idea that XRP was going to be price set or have a price floor, right? Because of this very understanding that when you have a certain amount of collateral put up onto the network, it will inform price. I refer to it essentially like this. The central banks are really what the combustion engine was for oil. Imagine what oil's use case and utility was before cars and engines were made, and then thereafter. Right? And look, it's not that all the cars' value are added up and that's how much oil is. No, there is a utility that is brought to oil because of the creation of engines and cars and all of these things that oil uses, right? And products to be made. And there is a price per barrel because of that. This is exactly what is going on here with XRP. As we see more utility and liquidity come onto the network, and quite possibly in the near term of the next few years of quadrillion dollars or more of settlement of derivatives market, you will have an enormous amount of liquidity and use case utility, which will absolutely inform some kind of price. And I want to finish with this. Please know this. I don't have to work for Ripple. I don't and never have. And I don't have to be an economist to understand this very simple idea. If Ripple, in fact, is going to be the company to provide the solution for the new fourth industrial revolution in the financial world, you better have some kind of simulation software so when you walk into a room with the DTCC or any other entity, central bank, you fill in the blank, you better be able to tell them what the price of XRP needs to be to facilitate that level of transactions. Because if you can't show them a simulation that understands that for them, you are not the one for the job. And I believe Ripple is. And if you believe it too, you can get Ripple private equity right here on link2.com, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mess around. They just acquired a special block of Ripple at a discount price because of market conditions. You know it won't last long. 98% chance that Ripple's going public, and a lot of other products on this platform too. Make sure you click the link to Link2, check out my sponsor, and get you some private equity. I will catch all of you on the next one.